Hi guys. Today we are going to learn about graphing inequalities that are in standard form. So if you take a look at number 3, these are equations. You need to change the symbol to be an inequality sign. So for number 3, change the symbol to an less than. That matches the one on my video. Now, sometimes it's easier just to graph with x and y intercepts instead of solving for y and putting the equation or the inequality into slope-intercept form. So if you remember the definition of an x-intercept, it is a point on the x-axis. So my y value would be 0. And then vice versa for my y value. If I want to find my y-intercept, my x value would be 0. Sometimes teachers tend to write the x and the y-intercept in chart form. So to find my x-intercept, I would substitute 0 in for y. And then to find my y-intercept, I would substitute 0 in for x and solve. So let's go ahead and try this. Let's find my x-intercept first. To find the x-intercept, let's substitute 0 into y into my inequality and solve for x. So you've got 2x minus a 0 is less than 6. Well, 2x minus 0 is just a 2x. And then you have less than 6. Divide by 2. So x is going to be 3. So that's where your point will be. Your point will be at 3, 0 on your x-axis. I'm going to go ahead and put a point there on my graph. Let's solve for the y-intercept. Let's substitute 0 in for x and solve for y. So we have 2 times a 0 minus a y is less than 6. Well, 2 times 0 is 0. So what we have left is negative y is less than 6. You want y to be positive, so let's divide by a negative 1, and that will eliminate the negative signs. So you're left with y. However, when dividing by a negative number, your inequality sign needs to change direction. So instead of a less than symbol, you will use a greater than. And 6 divided by negative 1 is negative 6. That's where your point will go. 0, negative 6. So let's put a point there on my y-axis, the very end. Now, to decide if I'm going to use a solid or a dotted line, if there is the less than or greater than symbol, not equal to, we need to use a dotted line. Excuse me. The last part, we need to decide where to shade. Do we shade above that line or below that line? And to determine what you can do is look at your y value. If y is greater than negative 6, we would shade above negative 6. So you will be shading above this line. Or sometimes I like to say the alligator mouth is eating the y. So he's happy. He is going to be shading above this graph. And you're all finished. Let's try the next question, question number 4. Same exact thing. Let's find our x and our y intercepts. So to find my x-intercept, let's substitute 0 in for y. Two times 0 is 0, so you're left with 2x is greater than or equal to negative 4, and then divide by 2. So x is greater than or equal to negative 2, and that will go in for your x value. Let's put a point on my x-axis at negative 2, 0. Let's solve for the y-intercept. So to do that, we substitute 0 in for x. 2 times a 0 plus a 2y is greater than or equal to negative 4. 2 times 0 is 0. So you're left with a 2y is greater than or equal to negative 4. Divide by 2. Y is greater than or equal to negative 2. Let's put a point there on our y-axis at 0, comma, negative 2. Now, if you look at your symbol, this symbol is greater than or equal to. So you need to use a solid line when making this graph. And then to decide which half plane to shade, you look at your y value. Y is greater than negative 2. So I would shade above my line. And you're all finished. You should be able to graph by finding your x and your y intercept by the end of this video. Thank you.